Good evening, Vancouver. Welcome back to Canucks After Dark. It has been a while. It is Monday, September 15th. I checked today and I was like, wait, preseason is only 6 days away, which is a little bit jarring. So we're right back to it, as if nothing ever happened. As always, joined by my co-host, Canuck Clay. How are we doing, Clay?
I'll just say it, man. I miss you. I missed you
too.
Yeah, I'm glad. Oh, that's the nicest thing you've not ever said to me, but I really like that. Is this season 4.5 for us, or 3.5, or 5.5? Not to put you on the spot.
The brain is not in that spot right now. It's been we've done 188 of these, which maths out to 3.5. So this would be, I don't know, something like that. 3.5 complete.
Did we start during the Canadian division season or the season after that?
So we've done 3 full seasons.
Okay.
Based on that math, and then a little bit more.
Okay.
I would think. So
well, happy to be back. Happy to see you. I know collectively, there wasn't a lot to talk about over the summer, but boom, we're already at September 15th.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one, and it's one of those things where everything sort of snuck up at once, right? Where it's, I really haven't thought about the Canucks for a couple months because they haven't done much since July 1st, which was 2 months ago now, the last time we did a show, because they signed Besser and obviously the whole Adam Foote thing, whatever. But they've been out of the news basically since then, right? And so I have been just so focused on the sun goes down at 10 o'clock and the Mariners were playing well, and I was just I was in baseball mode, and then come a week and a half ago, I realized I'm like, wait, the football is starting, the sun is going down, it's dark at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's weird.
We must be I'm playing hockey again. That didn't really click for me that would have an impact as well. And I sort of realized, wait, we're close. We're close. I don't know if I'm ready for summer to end.
That's true. And I can tell you missed me because you started the show at my usual 11 o'clock time. I know you had a hockey game, so you be okay for the next 45 minutes, an hour? Are you fine?
We'll have to see. This is well past my normal time, but no, I'm okay. The 9:15 start in Burnaby, which is not where I live. So it was a quick get dressed, get home, and hop right on. So I'm a little disheveled, at least. This is a bit messed up, but I'm running warm from skating, but I'm ready to go. There's a fruit fly on my monitor, and we're back.
Well, I think people are happy we're back because look at this. Lanky signs up as supporter. Thank you, Lanky. So, Swervin Irvin, the Filipino stud muffin, that's his new nickname. He proclaims his support for 10 months. Fangirl, 38 months. I didn't even know. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Carol Bovenlander for 2 months, armed with a brand new credit card so she can start to do her own thing. And Just Incredible signs up as a supporter as well. So thanks to all of you for your support.
Yes, thank you very much. Good to have you all back. I didn't know what to expect. It's first show in a couple months. Team, I said, hasn't done much. It doesn't really feel like fall yet, right? It doesn't feel like hockey season yet. And I was like, when we're starting an hour late, right? 11 o'clock. So I was like, we'll just see what happens and have some fun. But no, people are showing up. Just great to see.
So before we get into training camp battles and prospect showcase and everything, let me gauge because we actually, you guys know how much I love taking you behind the curtain. There's not much behind this curtain right now because Parker and I basically just texted each other this morning and said, we're still doing the show tonight, right? Okay, fine. See you at 11. How are you feeling right now, September 15th, 3 days before training camp, a month before the regular season starts? How are you feeling?
I assume you're talking about the Canucks.
Let's go with that.
I am feeling about the same as I felt at the start of last season, which is cautiously optimistic.
Right.
It's funny. We've done the preseason predictions every year, and at some point we'll revisit ours from last year.
Some point.
And every single time we have been hilariously wrong, right? We've always been on the same page. And I think of us as people who are reasonable and level-headed and not die hard. This team can do no wrong. They're going to, they're always going to succeed, but also not the doomer, everything that they do is not going to
Yeah.
work, right? Like I think we sort
Yeah.
of try to take a step back, look at things fairly logically.
We do.
And we have been dead wrong every time. We have, we looked at the bubble, and we didn't start. I think we might have started at the end of that year or something like that. But
Yeah.
we looked at the bubble, and I remember at the beginning of that season, I was like, oh, they could actually do something here they didn't. They were bad. And then, they were bad the following year. Then they had that one year where we projected they wouldn't do well. They had the one really great year. And then after that, we're like, hey, this is now a team on the rise. So we said, yeah, Petey's going to get 104 points, and Quinn Hughes is going to do this, and the team's going to get 100. They had 109 points that year. Yeah, they'll regress a little. 105, I guess we'll take it. And then we all know how last year went. So this year, I think, again, everything to me should sort of regress to the mean. I think they overachieved at 109. I think they underachieved. And I think they should be somewhere in the middle. This should be a 95 to 102 point team, I think is where I would land.
I will take that. And Lanky, thank you. Not only supporter, but gifts a membership, and it goes to Erwin Aquino. So thank you, Lanky, for your generosity. So I'm with you. I've always said they're not as good as they were 2 seasons ago, as fun as that was, right? They're not as bad. They can't be as bad as they were last season. So I agree. When people, I don't know why people do this, but people press each other for point predictions right now, like a month before. But I've been saying 97 points. I've been saying 15 games over 500. I've been saying 42, 27, and 13, whatever the math is. So that's, spoiler alert, that will be my prediction. But I am with you. So given our history of completely agreeing but completely missing it, if we want the Canucks to do well, we either gotta predict like some really low predictions, or God forbid we actually split a little bit and see and maybe we take different tracks. But I think we're already talking about the same thing, like high 90s point total. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in there, and I'm just trying to take a little look at some standings, predictions, some votes, some power rankings, and I just want to see where other people are at, right? And
as you do that, I'll quickly highlight Coach Rob. Thank you for proclaiming your membership for 38 months. And Swervin Irvin did some research for us. April 12th, 2021. Yep. So that's right. That's not bubble year, is it? That's
that would have been the shortened season, because that started in January.
So the bubble,
the playoff bubble was before that.
Yeah, summer 2020, correct?
Right. And this was the Canadian division season.
Right. Okay. So we've had only one good season to follow to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
Well, I'm just looking at some other, power rankings, things like that. The Canucks are under projected, I would say, compared to what we think. If we're saying like a 97-point team, Sportsnet has the Canucks power ranking at 20. BetMGM has the Canucks with the 19th longest odds to win the Stanley Cup, which is playoff bubble.
I thought Jay. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I don't have the JFresh one in front of me, but we do have. If you think the Canucks might win the Stanley Cup, 6,600, 66 to 1 odds.
That's pretty.
Throw $3 on it.
I'm looking up. I know JFresh had the Canucks relatively high, and it caused a bit of a stir in this market. I am trying very hard to find it.
Maybe you can find it faster than me. So he has the Pacific at, and what's interesting about like model projections is it squishes everyone together a little bit, right?
Right.
Because, it has Dallas at 110 points being the top in the league, Vegas at 108, New Jersey at 104, Tampa at 102. There's going to be some spread in there, right? Just because there is variance. This is with like 50,000 simulations instead of just 82 games. So everything sort of narrows out to the mean. This is the Canucks getting in the playoffs pretty comfortably, the JFresh model. He has the Pacific at Vegas at 108, Edmonton 107. So those two duking it out.
Yep.
And then he has LA and Vancouver at 198, respectively.
Okay.
And then a big drop off. And I definitely see that drop off looking at, the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
He has a 15-point drop to Seattle at 83. Then another
Wow.
10 points to Anaheim at 73 and Calgary at 73 and San
Wow.
Jose at 70. That Calgary drop off to me, like, I totally, I don't think they're going to drop to 73, but I think they're falling. They're
Yeah.
just on that side of everything. And Anaheim doesn't inspire any confidence, and neither
Yeah.
does Seattle. And obviously San Jose's, going to be at the bottom of the league again. So really it's, how many Central teams are going to get involved, and that's what's going to get interesting.
Right. I wonder who in Calgary made him mad. Like that's a big drop. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Lanky, thank you. Lanky, 2 more donations. Jesse gets a membership, and OT Loser gets a membership. Hopefully, we don't have a lot of those, but thank you, Lanky, for continuing to support us. Okay, so you're saying most projections have them on the outside looking in, somewhere between 17 and 21. Jay Fresh has them inside. We have them inside. So yeah, we'll see. We have 3 weeks to revise those, but yeah, cautious optimism. I think that's a good way of putting it. I really do. And yeah, just a drama-free season, right? Isn't that what we're kind of hoping for?
Yeah.
And a healthy season. Yeah.
And I think if someone goes and looks, if someone goes and searches NHL standings, which I'm just going to do to give me last season, please. If someone goes and looks at NHL standings and they say, okay, well, the Canucks had 90 points last year. What did they do to get better?
Yeah.
Right. And the answer's not a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Evander Kane is Evander Kane,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if that's going to be a big upgrade or what he's going to look like. I think the biggest one is not having Shilovs anymore and having Demko. If Demko's healthy for the full season, that's a boost. But other than that, it's a similar team, right? It's a team without JT Miller. It's a team that's extremely thin down the middle. And that's just the way they're going to play. But they've bolstered their defense, and we'll see what that turns into. But really, what you're banking on is Quinn Hughes being Quinn Hughes again, which I don't have any problem projecting, and Elias Pettersson being Elias Pettersson again. And I don't think a week has gone by of us doing the show without us talking about Elias Pettersson being Elias Pettersson. And if all of the drama is truly gone, and we had the I put on X amount of muscle, which every team has someone who says that every training camp, and it's a fun cliche. But if Elias Pettersson is a 30 goal scorer with 100 points again, this team is a playoff team. It's as simple as that. That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah. Dino, thank you for becoming a supporter. Appreciate you. I would say in a perfect world, we have an elite or at least potentially elite player in each of the 3 positions between Hughes, Petey, and Demko. That's why. And then, the filler of Miller in the past, Horvat in the past, Besser in the past. There's decent pieces there. I love everything you said. You're right. We only added Evander Kane. We have a healthy Demko. But I think, Parker, you might agree with me that having the 2 Petterssons on defense from the start of the season, as opposed to midseason trade and midseason call up, that I think puts us way ahead of where we started last year when we had Desharnais and Soucy and those guys on our back end, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I want to try to pull up. Can I get opening day roster? Is that something I can find?
From last year?
Yeah, I wanted to see 2024 opening day roster, but it's a tricky thing to search for.
You could look up or look up the game results from our first game last year when the Canucks lost to the Flames 6-5. And see who played.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. Opening night roster. Oh, it's not in any order. And I'm getting ads for credit cards.
Well, okay.
So Pettersson.
I know. Yeah. I know that Ratu played because Shooter got hurt in preseason. So they've made the point that Ratu started last season, like he might start this season.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the Canucks had 13 forwards on the opening night roster, including Daniel Sprong.
That guy.
Danton Heinen, Niels Oman was on the opening night roster. Everyone else is pretty similar. Obviously, JT Miller is not there anymore. The defense, though, man, looking at this defense is kind of gross.
Try me.
Well, we'll give you first pair Hughes Ronick. Then you go Myers Susie, which was fine for a bit, but then we get the Noah Juleson, Mark Friedman, Derek Forbert, Vinny Desharnais. Right.
All right.
So not having Marcus Pettersson there, that's a big piece. So, I found one that has lines. Nope, they're in numerical order. Never mind. Either way, it's comparing that to now, right? Adding in Evander Kane. The Miller for Hedel is a downgrade, but maybe an upgrade for someone like Pettersson. Drew O'Connor.
For Heinen, basically.
Kind of a side grade there. But the biggest difference is the Pettersson's on defense. I think is and hopefully Demko night one.
Yeah, you're right. And it's thank you, Carol, for gifting 5 membership. You guys are so generous tonight. Brian, James, Jasper, Marcus, and Jaden become supporters. Thanks to Carol's generosity. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, I guess it's not the best comparison because Suter was hurt. But yeah, basically up front, we've lost Suter and Joshua, right? Joshua obviously started the season late too, but we've lost Suter and Joshua, and we brought in Kane. That's really all we've done up front. And then on D, we haven't lost any.
Miller for Hedel.
Of course, that's stupid. Yes. And then on D, Juleson's gone. Desharnais's gone. Susie's gone. Friedman's gone. Wow, that's a lot of gone.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of tweener gone, right? It's a lot of the
tweener gone,
good, right? Getting swapping out those lower end guys for for a bit stronger defense. So that's the route they're taking, right? It's a defense focused team. They've got a defenseman as the new coach. We'll see what happens.
So let's look at training camp if that's cool. And if a lot of talk, Parker, about probably the only battle might be for a fourth line right wing spot. And if we presume the top, it doesn't matter who plays with PD, if it's Kane or DeBrusk, but we can, I think, safely say it's going to be something like PD and DeBrusk, Besser, Kane, Hedel, Garland. So there's your top 6. And then let's say it's Ratu, Sherwood, Hoglander. Let's just say that. There's our top 9. And then if Bluger and O'Connor are right-ins too, that's 11 of 12 spots. So then we're talking about a battle for one spot between Carlson, Lekermaki, Aman, Baines, Sasson, Kratsov, insert guy here. So that's 6 or 7 guys I just named. Would you agree that there's only that one spot? And of course, depending on how many they carry, 1 or 2 extra forwards. So maybe there's 2 forward spots. One of them will actually start. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and it's always the interesting part of training camp, and what's good about having that many guys that are sort of hard to project who's going to take that spot is you also get the opportunity for one guy to take that spot, right? Is one, you have a handful of basically lottery tickets. Will one of them jump in and take that spot like Elias Pettersson did last year on defense, right? Where he showed up really well and eventually earned a spot on the team. And now, this team that, when you draft that guy, you're not projecting that he's going to play any NHL games really, right? Like when you're that deep in the draft. But now they've got a guy who projects to potentially start on your third pair. If you can get a guy in that mix that you're talking about, if one of them excels, and I'm hoping someone like, an Atu Ratu comes out and excels as well, right? That's a big piece. But if you have a couple of those guys that excel and show that they're ready to play NHL minutes, that can be a big help.
Right. And then you throw in age. So Linus Karlsson, Niels Aman, and Kratsov and Baines, those 4 are not waiver exempt. So once they're on our team, you basically got to keep them up or risk losing to the waivers if you send them down. Whereas Sasson and Lekermaki are waiver exempt. So that might make a bit of a difference too.
Yeah. Yeah. And the guys who are already not on the roster, right? If you leave them there, they stay there, right? Steve Baines is an interesting one. I guess he's played enough games that he's
Yeah.
waiver exempt anymore.
Yeah, surprise.
Whereas someone like a Max Sasson is. I wonder how close Max Sasson is to not being waiver eligible.
Right.
I'm sure I could find that, but it seems like some work.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's interesting because there's a lot of names, right?
Yep.
There's Lekarmaki, Chase Stillman.
Oh, yeah.
Bloom, who we traded for however long ago, Klimovich,
Yeah.
Ulrichsen, Mackenzie McEachern, big possibility there. So yeah, well,
Yeah, that guy.
there's some potential, but
Yeah.
I worry about that a little bit.
So do you look at what is the bigger factor, waiver exempt or one way versus two-way contract? Because this it makes sense that the guys that aren't waiver exempt, most of them have one-way contracts. Like Oman and Carlson have one-way contracts, whereas all the guys that are waiver exempt, have two-way. I guess that makes sense, right? Because these guys aren't projected to make the team. Yeah.
And it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Again, the ownership has a lot of money to pay the one-way contracts or the two-way contract guys when they're up. But what's interesting, and I think because what Patrick Allvin did a lot of the last couple of years is all those paper moves, right? Every day, this guy gets sent down, this guy gets called up, this guy gets sent down. The new CBA kicks in next year, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So they can still do that this year, but next year they can't do that anymore. They put a stop to that, which makes sense because it's a lot of guys who are, one day they're getting NHL money and then they're getting AHL money just to save cap, and it wasn't really fair to those players. But it was a savvy move from a management perspective. So we'll see. I think less of that maybe this year, but definitely next year. And it's going to be guys who make the team. You're thinking are going to make the team. Just looking at the list of guys who are currently on the roster that, if they get sent down, they would not, or they would have to go through waivers, right? Like Linus Karlsson, for example. But it also is that time of year when Linus Karlsson would get sent down if he doesn't make the team, that 90 other players are getting sent down and going through waivers, right? So, and we see this every year where we're like, oh, go get that guy, go get that guy, go get that guy. But every team's already set up their roster in a way that they don't really have the room for them. So guys are going to sneak through. I wouldn't worry too much about waiver exemption.
Okay, that's good.
Especially because it's also like those shouldn't be a huge deal if you lose those guys, in theory.
Right. So I'm going to put you on the spot, even though you're allowed to change your answer next week. If we presume that our bottom six locks are Ratu, Sherwood, Höglander, Bluger, and O'Connor, that's 5 of 6, who would you pick between Oman, Carlson, Baines, Sasson, Lekarmaki, and Kratsov? Who's going to take that 12th spot?
I lean towards someone like Sasson. I think he showed a little bit last year, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a tricky one because it's and I hope that the manager or that the coaching staff goes into it with no predispositions on who they want to put in. Right. I want them to go in and say, look, boys, there's one or two spots here.
Yep.
And you know what they should also say, hey, Drew O'Connor, there's a few spots here. Show us that we're sure you're getting paid $2.5 million, but we can put you on waivers tomorrow. That's fine. We want the best 12 players in the lineup. Will they do that? I don't know. But like that, they should just ice the best lineup they can. If you got to put guys on waivers, you put guys on waivers. See who shows up.
Okay, I think the defense may be more cut and dry. Do you have any issue with the top six being Hughes, Hronek, Myers, Pedersen, and Forbert with DPD playing on the right side? That's how they ended the season last year. And then, of course, Quinn Hughes was hurt a little bit, so that's why DPD got to play. And Mancini got to play. So, I have Hughes, Hronek, Pedersen, Myers, Forbert, and DPD, and that means P.O. Joseph, Nylander, and Mancini kind of battling for one or two spots. I have no problem with starting Nylander and Abbotsford. I really don't. I want to see him be awesome, but there's no rush, right? Or am I saying something?
No, I think you're good. I think your mic's getting a little iffy. I don't know if it swapped mics or something.
Okay, but I will figure that out. Thank you.
Oh, you sound better already.
Okay.
It just sounded like you were underwater a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with that D group. I think, but again, like I think they should be ready to make moves if they need to, right? If Mancini shows up in training camp, right? And they say, look, okay, you're making, if we need to send down Forbert for Mancini, be ready to do that. I don't really see anyone else that would jump in out of the group, right? I don't see Brisebois doing it. I don't see Kudratsev doing it yet. I don't see Verlander doing it yet. I don't see Wu or Sawyer Minio doing that. But I could definitely see Mancini making a push.
Yeah. Yeah. Over Verlander, right? Like, because
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Verlander's still 20. I think you
Yep.
you give him an AHL season, get him some pro hockey under his belt.
Yeah. This P.O. Joseph, I don't know a lot. Like, I know of him, but I don't know a lot about him. Apparently, he was telling JPET that, hey, I can play the right side too. So, like, don't forget about me. But that's some defenseman speak, I guess.
Yeah, I forgot about him too because he doesn't have a number on Puckpedia, so I didn't even notice him there.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, you're looking at the pictures? Where do you find the pictures?
Not pictures, but I'm just in the depth or the depth chart.
Oh, okay.
The lineup.
Gotcha.
But he doesn't have a number, so his name is shifted.
Gotcha. Okay, and then obviously on D, there's no discussion, no decision to be made. It's a matter of who's going to play in Abbotsford, and it's probably going to be Ty Young and Nikita Tilapia with the Yuri Patera just kind of floating around there, ready to play if we need him.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah. There's a glut of some young goaltenders in the minors for sure. I'm not sure what they're gonna do there, but
Right.
it's an interesting one because this is the Demko year, right?
Yeah.
That's the big question going into this year is what do you do with Thatcher Demko? Because you have Lankinen signed for 5, which is a lot, and is if Demko's Demko, which I have my concerns about, but if he can be a 908 goalie again, obviously he's been like a 918 goalie, but if he can be in the 900s again, in the mid 900s, it's going to be so tricky.
Yeah. I forgot about the. Oh, I remember the 3-year extension. I forgot it was 8.5. Wow.
Yeah. It's a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
I remember because we didn't think it was going to be that much, but that was also July 1, eh? Forgot about that.
Yeah. All 3 Americans, all Quinn Hughes buddies, right? In yet another attempt to keep Quinn around.
All right, is it time to panic about Quinn Hughes leaving? Is that this part of the show?
I'm okay for now. There's no need to panic for another year, but Rutherford didn't do him any favors. Jack Hughes talking, everyone talking about this.
Yeah. Irvin's asking about what the split will be between Demko and Lankinen. You got too many games there in your math, Irvin. Next year, is it next year they go to 84 games? Or
Correct.
the year after?
Correct.
It's gonna be a lot. Yeah,
I like round
that'll
numbers.
be
I go
part of our
Right.
preseason predictions. Those will
There you
be questions in there.
I mean, I didn't say 50 and 32. I said 41 and 41.
Oh, I thought you were going
That's
to
exact-
say 50-50.
No. I go 50-32.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
you just play it day by day with Demko. So how do you feel today? Do you need an extra day? We'll give you an extra day, as many extra days as you need, because we owe you $25.5 million over the next 3 years.
That's true. That's a lot of money. Adam Foote, we barely heard from him. Oh, by the way, a funny story. I didn't get a chance to tell you. I ended up donating to Canucks for Kids, and I got 2 pairs of Rogers Arena seats. And then I brought them home, and Gil's like, "You're not putting those in your studio. I don't care." So then I gave them away, which is fine. But when I went to pick them up, Adam Foote was coming back from the Milford, so I was able to shake his hand, just say, "How's your golf game and good luck this season?" So, friendly enough. I didn't not a 51-year-old man. I'm not going to ask him for a selfie. I just shook his hand, blah, blah, blah. But how do you think he's going to do? And are you nervous for him? Are you any expectations? Is he going to be like a Rick Tocchet disciple? What are you expecting?
I'm hoping for a new coach bump.
Yeah.
It's, I just don't have a lot of excitement for what Adam Foote's gonna do. Like I just don't get much of an exciting vibe out of him. And it's not like Rick Tocchet had a huge exciting vibe either, right? And
Right,
coaches don't have to, but I don't know if I've ever really heard him speak. It's sort of something I thought about. It's like I don't know what he sounds like. I don't know what I'm gonna expect from his press conferences. I'm hoping Quinn Hughes is happy, and I'm hoping the team plays well under him. But I'm a little iffy.
Yeah. 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 The fact that he was the defensive coach for the past couple of seasons, and I think the Canucks played well defensively, especially once they beefed up their roster. It gives me hope, but I'm not necessarily scared that they're going to play a completely defensive style because they have new assistant coaches who are going to help with the offense and with the power play. So I'm willing to give them. It's not even benefit of the doubt. Like where maybe clean slate is a better way of looking at it. Because what else? Like, there's no other alternative right now. You're not going to fire him before he even coaches a game. So obviously, I want him to do well, and I'd be very curious to see if he kind of like relies on veterans, guys that he's known for the past couple of seasons, as opposed to say rookies or first year players, or even a guy like Hoglander. Does he have Foote's respect, trust, all those things? So I think it's almost like a new beginning for a lot of these guys in a good way. I'm intrigued. Maybe I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Now, there was the report the other day that was basically like, hey, if this team is like at Christmas time, if they're out of the picture, there could be some shakeups, which I thought was quite interesting because I don't think management has done anything crazy bad
Right.
to date, right? Like Jim Benning, a few years in, we were like, yeah, this guy is actually pretty quick. You know, Eric Branson, we're like, okay, this guy is, you know, he's making some bad moves. We've had a couple like ones that'll make you like turn your head a little bit, but nothing that's like, oh my goodness, he has set this team back for years. But he's also had good moves. So I don't really see the management group as a problem. I'd like to see Alvin take a little bit more of the load, just in general, because I think we've seen a lot of Jim Rutherford sort of coming out and saying things, and Alvin coming out and cleaning up the mess after. It's sort of, I don't really know who the man in charge is, so to speak. But I think pulling the plug. They didn't pull the plug early enough on Jim Benning by a long shot, but I don't think there should be much panic to do so here.
Right. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. By the way, Fangirl, thank you for trying to be a good moderator, but you can undelete. I think you're the only one who can undelete the comments you delete by accident, but that's up to you. No big deal. But yeah, please be careful when deleting other people's comments if you don't mean to. Apparently Rutherford and Alvin are going to talk on Wednesday, Parker. That's what J-Pat said today. So before they go up to Penticton, before they make the drive on Wednesday night, I guess, or for Thursday. So interested to see what they have to say. Especially, remember Rutherford's comments about it'll be too expensive or too costly not to get a second line center, and they did not get a second line center.
Yeah, not an easy type of player to acquire. It is one of those situations where, they could just be thinking, okay, we're just going to roll with it until December and trade for one, right? Like they like to sort of set the market before the trade deadline. That could be something that they're waiting to do once, there's some teams that are more clearly out of the picture and ready to move on from some guys. But yeah, it's, that depth chart has one weakness, right? And it's down the middle. I mean, the whole forward group is there's some question marks, right? I'm happy Besser's back. I think for the money they got him, that's great. I'm fine with Evander Kane for a single season. Connor Garland's sticking around, and he's fantastic. DeBrusk is good. I'm hoping Hoglander has a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, me too.
I actually forgot that that 3x3 he signed. I didn't realize that hadn't even kicked in yet.
Yeah,
Like that
great
starts this
points.
year. Like that's again, if Höglander gets that trust and can be like a Pettersson winger, and Pettersson
Yeah.
has a resurgence, and that could be a really valuable piece. But yeah, where
Yeah.
that stress comes from is, is Filip Chytil going to be healthy, right?
Yeah.
That's number one. And if not, now you're saying, okay, well, is Atu Ratu need to become a 2C tonight? that's going to be a problem. I think.
Did you
and
hear?
I
Yeah,
think
yes,
he has
yeah.
2C ceiling,
Right.
a very top of his ceiling if everything goes right,
Yeah.
but not today.
Yeah. And I think we joked about this last show before we took our break. I can't believe he's only 22. Like he must have been 5 years old when we traded for him for Horvat. No, I'm just kidding. I know he's like 19.
Yeah, he was
but
19.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You may have, this kind of was a story for like a day, and I'm not sure if you heard it. Dollywall was talking on a show about Kiefer Sherwood's camp maybe wanting like a good 4 to 4.5 million for him coming off his current contract, which is 1.5 for one more year. He's 30 years old, set the NHL record for hits, which is awesome. Half Japanese, so I'm going to like him. But that's a little much, right, for a 30-year-old?
It depends on the term, right? If it's 2 years, if it's 2 years, he'll get that from somebody. He had 40 points last year.
Yeah, 19 goals.
Like
Yeah, crazy.
that's a lot of value for a third liner, and especially the Tony set, the hits, and everything. I mean, he's worth $4 million today for sure. Now,
Right.
4 years from now, 3 years from now, even maybe not. However, if this management group prides themselves on, building a budget bottom six, which they've done pretty well on, right? They've had a couple swings and misses, but you think of Bluger, you think of Sherwood, you think of Joshua, like all those guys that they got for pretty cheap. And then eventually, all their values got driven up, and they had to get rid of Joshua for that cap space. But if they're of the mind of, hey, we just go get the next one, right? Which is easier said than done. But if that's something they pride themselves on, then you say, hey, you're welcome that we brought you here and helped you drive up your value, good luck elsewhere. And, that just might be what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent point, actually, and being willing to let those players go, because you're right. As you said, they've done a pretty good job of bottom six building. And if eventually, if these Carlsons and Kratzovs and Baines and Sassons and Braden Coots, eventually, if you got to make space for them in the lineup too. So, because you got Garland, Besser, PD, obviously DeBrusque. Those four are signed long term. Yeah. Oh, that's a really interesting point you make about.
And another thing to think about, when Sherwood signs that next contract, right, this coming off season, going into next season, cap's going up another $8.5 million,
right,
and another $9.5 million the following year.
Yeah,
right. There's going to be money to be spent. Becoming a UFA around now is super valuable, because there's going to be teams that they've got guys locked up for 6, 7, 8 years, and they're saying, "Hey, we want to make a push now. We've got the extra money that we're going to go spend on some short-term deals and make a push," right? And there's going to be guys like a Kiefer Sherwood who might just be timing the market perfectly to be able to collect on that, right? And a team is going to say, "Hey, we've got $4 million sitting around with this cap increase, and we sort of have our roster set. How nice would it be to add a Kiefer Sherwood to our playoff caliber team?" There's going to be a team willing to do that for sure.
Side bet: Sherwood's contract is better. It will be better than whatever Jack Roslovic signs for this year. Like, where's that guy?
Yeah, who knows?
Irvin's asking about the OEL dead cap. It is 4.8 this year, 4.8 next year, then 2.1 for 3 more years. So yes, 5 more seasons of dead cap for OEL, Parker.
Hey, don't forget about the $700K on Ilya Mikheyev this year.
That guy. At least there's no longer one. That's finally gone, right?
Yeah, sure is.
Look at Dino. Drops the $14. Thank you, Dino. Dono from Dino.
Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Dino. Yeah, look how we're as excited as you are in your profile picture there, Dino. Thank you. That's awesome. All right, it's 45 minutes in. You want to do a few minutes of questions from the crew?
Let's do it, folks. You got questions? We might have answers. So throw them.
I was inspired by the Filipino stud muffins question. How much would you be willing to give Roslovic?
What do we got? What do we got cap wise? What are we sitting on? We are sitting
Nothing.
on 3.27.
Oh, we do?
That stands right now. Yeah, we traded Joshua, remember?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we haven't done anything. That's right. You're right.
So we got 3.27. Now,
yeah.
if you don't sign a second line center and you wait all the way to the deadline, that would accrue up to almost $15 million. So if you were really confident in this team, be like, yeah, we're a top 3 in our division, like we're gonna make the playoffs. Let's save up and splash at the deadline and add $15 million of players. This team probably doesn't have the luxury to do that. This team probably needs to spend that 3.27 million wisely. I don't think spending 3.27 million on Jack Roslovic would necessarily be wise. But he's been sitting around for a while. He made $2.8 million last year on a 1-year deal. Had a solid year, 22 goals, 39 points. He played on a Carolina team that was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But he's also had some really good years. He had some good years in Columbus. 2021-22, he had 45 points, 22 goals, you can see in the comment there.
Right.
So,
right.
he's a pretty consistent 40-point guy. Even the year before, he had 31 points in 59 games, 44, 45, 34 in the 48-game season. And before that, he was like 22, so who cares? If you can get him for, 2.5, and you just take a flyer on him, I don't hate the thought, just because someone's going to get hurt at some point.
Right.
Right. And if you look down the middle, which I can't find anymore, Pettersson and then that drop to Hedel, right? Even having a guy that we say, hey, you can play 2C minutes some nights, like Jack Roslovic. You can swap in and out with Hedel as 2C, right? And we just sort of limit both of your ice times, and then you have Bluger or Ratu, whoever you want to slot in. Because one of those guys is going to get injured at some point, and if Bluger goes down, then we're back on the Neil Zoman train, and I think having a Jack Roslovic in that situation would be better. So I don't know. I don't necessarily see them doing it because it's been so long. But the fact that no team has jumped on it, maybe you can get him at a bargain.
Yeah, my first thought, Parker, is I'm not sure how much he improves our team, but you make a great point about depth, though. And whether it's, we don't want Hedel to get hurt, but if something happens to him or someone else, that would be a better insurance policy than, say, asking Neil Zaman to carry those minutes. Yeah, we shall see. Fangirl asks, is there too much competition for PTOs this training camp? I do not see them. I've not heard, whatever. Not that I'm an insider, but I haven't heard that they're going to do that. I don't see a need for it. Do you?
No. Again, competition's always good. Canucks, I don't think have signed any to this point, as far as I'm aware. You look at some of the names of the PTOs that went out, and it's a who's who of guys who probably aren't going to make rosters. There's options out there, but the Canucks have a lot of guys of those calibers. If you need a camp body, go for it. But I think the Canucks got quite a bit of that.
This was pretty funny. Irvin says, you have both lost weight since that April 12, 21 stream. You can comment if you want. I know that I was really fat. I'm still fat, but I'm less fat now. So I will take that comment. I don't know if you track your body from 4.5 years ago, Parker.
I'm actually thinking back. That might have been my prime. That was
Like
sort of mid COVID. I
like
think I
prime
was
weight or prime physical shape?
prime physical. I had a friend staying with me for a couple months, so we went to the gym together every day. Um,
Oh,
but then things,
okay.
yeah,
But yours was muscle though. That's the point you're making. Yeah,
yeah. I probably lost some muscle since then.
yeah. I've never had muscle, so I couldn't lose it, but less fat. Is that a good way? Yeah, I'll just say that. Okay, what else we got here? I just want to throw that in there. Schmitty asks, if you were building a new arena for the Canucks, where would you build it? And I would say more likely is where are they going to get a practice arena?
Yeah. Now, as someone who lives in the Fraser Valley, I would say
Yep.
closer to me.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
would that be smart? Probably not.
Yeah.
I Where would I be? I mean, if I was building a new arena, I think it's in a great spot already.
Yeah, you got to
you
stay
would-
downtown.
You
Yeah.
get rid of the viaducts and make it
Yep.
bigger, ideally.
Yeah, just
but
just knock down the viaducts. Exactly.
or just put it where the tents always are for Cirque du Soleil and stuff. Just take
Yeah.
that area,
Yep.
because
Yep.
there's some space there. But
Yeah.
practice facility wise, I don't know. I think it's just silly at this point.
Yeah. Did you see
know,
the footage of Seattle's the arena yesterday? It is amazing.
It's
That was their
gorgeous.
practice facility. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so good. It was
Yeah,
so good.
for me, like I look at it and I'm like, I feel like I'd be annoyed if I was playing for the team and the practice facility was like really far away from the regular rink. Like it seems
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you can put it, in Burnaby here. And I was like, yeah, it's like a 25-minute drive. That's
Yeah.
not that it's long, but like that's kind of annoying for
Yeah.
for some of these guys, right? You'd want to live
Yeah.
at the arena basically. So I don't know.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
not sure what they'll do.
Japan 4. If we traded for a guy like McTavish, what prospects are you giving up, and how many will it take to get McTavish? And a second question: do you think all of our top prospects are going to make this team? I'll answer the second part first. I do think of not this season, but I think they're paving a path for Braden Coots for 2 or 3 years from now. I think Tom Verlander will be on this team by next year, if not this year. And Lekar Mackey is kind of going to be like first guy called up, but he's waiver exempt. So if we're talking about those three as our top 3 prospects, which many people do, yeah, Japan 4, I do think they're going to make the team, but not necessarily this season. Mason McTavish, you like him?
I think he's a heck of a player. I don't see
Yeah.
it happening. Elliot Friedman a few days ago said that it seems like the Ducks want to sign him, not trade him. But he is not signed, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would take. And that's really what it counts as to me. Obviously, he's a heck of a player.
It feels like a 3-asset kind of deal, like a
Feels like a
good
prospect,
prospect.
and a pick,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe
and a
a
roster-
depth
yeah.
guy.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
former 3rd overall pick who's put up 50 points last year.
Yep.
He's probably going to be a 60, 65 point player. He's going to be a 2C, but he's also going to want a ton of money, and that makes it tricky.
Byron says Anaheim ain't moving McTavish.
Yeah, I doubt it.
All right, 2 more. I like this one. Any specific games either of you are circling on the calendar?
Opening night is always a good
Are
one.
you going?
I believe so.
Nice.
I'll try to. My buddy and I do a running bet every year on just a bunch of different NHL things, and the loser takes the other to home opener. So that's.
Did you win or lose this year?
I won, so I should be
good.
treated to home
Good.
opener, hopefully.
Awesome.
I don't know. Looking at the calendar, I'm not. I don't.
I
don't know.
can't. I can't go to this game, but because Tuesday night bowling night. But I know the JT Miller, the Rangers, that will be a fun one to be at. I think the Rick Tocchet Flyers one might be interesting. It might not be the best game, but that's always kind of interesting to me.
Habs are always fun in
Yes,
town as
the
well.
Habs are good.
Habs as well.
Florida?
But
Florida Panthers.
yeah,
Champions.
I don't care about Florida.
Really?
I don't know.
You-
Yeah,
That wouldn't excite you to go watch?
I don't. It's still Florida. I don't know. Yeah, it'd probably be a great game. But I don't know. I still don't see them as like a marquee team to go watch, if that makes sense.
Yep. Justin asks, are you worried about the Canucks' bottom six NHL experience compared to other rosters in the division with the likes of Carlson, Bain, Sasson, Ratu, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Uh, Not particularly. You still have Bluger down there. You have Drew
Yep.
O'Connor down there. You have Sherwood down
Sherwood.
there.
Yeah.
I think having half of your bottom six be younger guys is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. By definition, they don't get the lion's share of the minutes. They don't get a lion's share of at least power play, maybe penalty kill. Yeah, I agree with you. And we just named 4 of 6 spots will be filled by veterans. But yeah, if Ratu is third center, so that is some inexperience there. And then as we've been talking about the battle for the 12th forward spot for sure.
Yeah.
Who do you think have most goals? And I'll throw in, there's Besser, there's Kane, there's DeBrusque, and Petey. Maybe those are the 4, right?
Oh, what about Niels Hoaglander? No, I'm kidding.
Well, you can pick him if you want.
Should I get really wishful and say Elias Pettersson? And hopefully
Well,
it's
you can
not
pump-
because Besser hasn't scored any.
Yeah, well, you can pump fake me because you can say it's someone and then you say someone else for our preseason competition.
Yes, Drew O'Connor.
I think Besser's gonna have a big year, but I do think Kane's. I just have this. It's not like the biggest prediction in the world. I think Kane's gonna score opening night and everyone's gonna love him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or he's gonna lay somebody out opening night.
That too.
I think he's gonna be fired up to play at home, which is exciting. First game of the year is at home, right?
Yes. Calgary on the Saturday night.
Oh, he already doesn't like Calgary. Perfect.
Oh, it's perfect. Does Kadri still? Yeah, I want him and I like Kadri and Kane to when they go at it. It's fun.
A little scrap would be fun.
Okay. Well, Parker, you made it 55 minutes without nary a yawn or a deep breath or anything. Good job, man.
Still alive. The hockey wakes you up, but I will be asleep very soon.
Yes. Awesome. So our plan is to go next week again. And then we are both busy on the 29th. I'm out of town and you got something. So
Yeah, it's
we'll
a long
basically
weekend,
go.
essentially.
Yeah.
Tuesday's
Well,
the
that's-
holiday.
Oh, that's right. So we got show tonight, obviously, show next week. We'll take a 1-week break and then we will go hard from the first Monday of October on.
That'll be the 6th, and that'll be our full predictions and season preview, and that'll be a big one.
Love it.
So make
Love it,
sure you're
love it, love it.
subscribed, hit the notification bell. If you missed any part of this show, you can rewind back to the beginning. You can find it on your favorite podcast platform as well. You just type in Canucks After Dark. It should still be there, I hope. I'm going to try to upload this one, and hopefully it still exists. Clay, anything else you want to discuss tonight?
Great to be back. This is officially the start of our 4th full season, but throwing that half as you mentioned. So, no, happy to be back with you, Parker. And I think, we always feel the same way in the middle of September. Optimistic. Our predictions never get right, but maybe this is the year we change it. But I'm happy we're back, and I'm happy for everyone that was here today. Thank you. No way. I'm just starting a show at midnight, so I am done tonight too. So this was great. It was a wonderful chance to reconnect. And to end off, you won your hockey game, didn't you?
Yes. First
Awesome.
one of the year.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That's a good sign for the Canucks, maybe.
I don't
not.
think so. I don't think that makes a difference.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
anyways,
Got to
folks, thank you all very much for joining. We will, like Clay said, we'll be back next Monday. Go Hawks, go Mariners. Have a good night.